Welcome to Unhindered Soul and the Magic Within. I'm your host, Angela Gladkowski, and I'm here with my friend Helen, who's the owner of Simply Sacred Oils, and she is also known as the Inspirational Alchemist. We're going to speak about the many things that she's a jack of many trades, and we're going to speak about her magic within. So, Helen, I really wanted you on. You have so much to offer and speak about, and we were speaking a little bit right before we started, and I didn't even know half the things that you've done, and I just can't wait to speak about it. So I just wanted to, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then kind of get to just tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Thank you for having me, Angela.
I'm so
It's very
grateful.
nice
Thank
to
you
be
for
here.
coming on.
Thank you for, making that um, possible. Uh, Honestly, I have always jumped into things that I knew nothing about. I thought I knew nothing about. So starting from the very beginning, I was working with my family's business, which was the jewelry business, and then transitioned into a small family-owned multi-franchise car dealership where I developed special finance and uh, the whole finance division with after sale and all that other good stuff. And then, after so many years, I just couldn't find a reason why I needed to stay. It was just draining my mind, body, and soul. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go any higher. I had keys to everything. I was making too much money. And so the money wasn't it. It just I felt like I was a woman in a cage. And so I needed to escape somehow. So and I did. And I left that. And although I enjoyed every minute of it, a minute of my experience there, I met some really phenomenal people that I still know today. I still am very close to the family that owned the business. They're like my family now.
Love
Um,
it.
but I needed to be free. And I just didn't know why. I just needed to feel that, freedom to figure it out. And it took me quite some time to figure it out. And I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
still on
and
that
that's
journey.
okay.
I'm still on that journey of trying to figure out my life. Um, so where am I today? I'm in, you know, so many different directions. Everyone am enjoying at this time.
I love it. Yeah,
Uh,
and you had, from what we were speaking about, there were many things that you've done to get to this point. And I feel like, nothing's ever wasted, and there's always a reason for it. And so you had said that you were in the jewelry family business, and so you were doing that. Then you felt like you needed to go on to something of your own, and that's why you went into the finance with that company
I need to really get away from the family and the responsibility of the family business. And so I was offered a position in sales and then developed that into the director of finance and all that other good stuff. But you know what? They believed in me. So they saw
Yeah,
something that I had no idea about, but I had to stay the course.
I love that. And it's funny how you were off, right? You were offered that position. It's like almost like
Well, no,
everything that you've done, and we're going to talk about that, been led to.
pretty much, yeah. Very fortunately, I mean, I don't take anything for granted. I'm very grateful, but you know, I still scratch my head about that. Like, how did I end up there?
How did that happen? But that's when you know you're being led. When it flows and it's easy like that, you know that you're being sent angels to guide you and push you to where you need to be. Doesn't mean you don't do the work, but it does go, it just seems to flow and you seem to meet the right people and things happen. And then before you know it, you're like, how did that happen? How did, like, what happened there? Right. And then you were telling me, I know we just kind of like touched on things as we were just kind of going over some things. And you were saying that you felt like you needed to move on and, from that family business because we're done with, at that point when you felt like you needed to move on and do something else. And so then you said you moved on to music business.
I mean, from the car business, yes.
Yeah.
Um, I was introduced to someone who had an extreme amount of talent, but was in jail. So that wasn't very helpful. However, he was very talented, and I tried my best to get him out of the mess that he was in with his current manager and move him into a better place, but that wasn't working. So I had to, I had to sever that tie, um, which
So you
was
were like
fine.
a manager to him, and then you had to
Yes, I
move
managed.
on.
We produced a couple of albums together, and then I had to move on. But before I can do so, I needed to hire an attorney to sever the tie
Right.
legally. And so that's when I met my brother from another mother, Tom McCaffrey. And so again, the path, right?
Yeah.
So it's taken me to the music industry that basically I knew nothing about. I think to meet Tom, who was an amazing author, an accomplished best-selling author of the Claire Saga, and he was instrumental in freeing me from that arrangement that I had with the artist. And then we fostered an amazing relationship. He's my BFF forever, him and his
Aw.
wife. And I miss him. Like, I mean, he's moved to Colorado now, but we're still thick as thieves.
Oh, I'm
And
sure you are.
so,
Yes.
yeah, we're still thick as thieves. And but we started collaborating on a lot of film and television projects. And so we came up with literally dozens and dozens of concepts and ideas that we put together. His ability to hone in and create that story, and then I went out and shot it. And we put it together and shopped, the networks, the industry. And so, unfortunately, it didn't work out the way we planned in that respect. But Tom's got an amazing series of books out there, just waiting for the right set of eyes to take
Right.
to the right place. And for me, it was time for me to make that turn into something else and something that I was introduced to, or maybe even I think she called it, it was just like a muscle memory of something that I did in a previous life, which was simply sacred oils, of the alchemy of putting things together to make the best recipe for something that could help somebody. And
Yeah.
so, that's how I got into Simply Sacred. It was it's a recognition of something that I did in the past. And although I studied it, I realized I think I learned more by putting the books down and just doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes because like you said, it's a memory almost. So I'm
It's
gonna
a
move
must.
back to let's go back to what we were talking about, what you did with some of the filming with Tom. So you were telling me that, you did different genres, but one of them was that you were filming psychic mediums, right? And so tell me
Yeah,
just a
that
little bit
was
about that.
for sure. That was our passion. Tom, extremely spiritual man. Um, I think that if we go back, if with all the readings that we've had over the last, I don't know, 30 years, he was my wife, I was his husband. So we've had lots of lives together.
Uh-huh.
And so with that, we had a mutual love for the spiritual realm, mediums, psychic mediums, and that genre. So that's what we jumped into. That, and we all love to eat. So cooking and food, that particular genre, lifestyles, and then the spiritual. I mean, we've done quite a bit. We have a lot shot in the can, and we were hopeful. We were extremely hopeful. But unfortunately, I think our timing was about
Right.
20 years,
Too
20
early.
years early.
Yeah, because we were just discussing that, how, it seems like those few psychic mediums kind of or mediums kind of paved the way for everybody, which is nice because now at this point where we're at, I mean, now it's like, oh yeah, you're a psychic medium. Okay. Like it's more acceptable. Whereas like 20, 30 years ago, nobody knew about that or it was like, taboo. Like, no, I'm psychic mediums. Oh my gosh. But people like Kim Russo and Teresa
Yeah,
Caputo and
amazing.
all
Kim
those people
Russo,
that,
amazing.
yeah, they
A
really
good
paved the
friend and
way.
totally off the charts amazing. See, what we try to do, unfortunately, was we found ourselves trying to convince heads of industry that it was real. And then after a while, we were just like, what are we doing? They
Yeah.
don't see it's real. What are we
Yeah.
doing? We're not doing anybody a good, we're doing ourselves an injustice because we believe it. We know it's real. We can't make them believe it's real.
No. No. And
So,
it's not your job to make them believe it's real. It's just your
well,
job to put
trust
out
me,
the
I tried.
information. Right.
I tried. We tried. We tried every aspect of reworking the reels and content that we created over and over to try to satisfy people that were just really not. They just weren't getting it. They just weren't getting it, unfortunately. And
No.
what can I say? We tried and we did our best.
Yeah, and like you said, sometimes like it's divine timing. It's if it wasn't meant to be, then it wasn't meant to be. But there's always reasons for things, and we were discussing your intention. So once you and I know I want to go back again to when you were speaking to me about when you decided to go on your own from the dealership, and you decided to like now do these, this other work, and your intention was always so. We were talking about. Can you remember the first moment you realized your own magic? And everybody, when you hear magic, I know I've interviewed psychic mediums, but you don't have to be a psychic medium. Everybody has magic. We all have a purpose here. And saying that, you kind of felt like you wanted to help people, wanted to help other people, believed in putting information out, putting music out. Music makes people happy, right? Film could be educational. It could be, uh, you know, of course, entertaining, but you want to educate people. That's really what your purpose was. And so you always have that purpose. And we're talking about how your magic is really just like helping others. That's really what you want to do. And you seem to do that because we were discussing like, okay, well, even though those films didn't become where you didn't go where you wanted them to go, you still actually help those psychic mediums. So let's go back to when you were speaking about these psychic mediums that you actually, found, telling me about how they kind of realize that they have this gift and it's real, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in total awe of the gifts that I've come across in the women that I've been working with, and it's primarily women. It's 99.9 in what we've done, and I would ask to interview and have a reading with someone, and they were skeptical because they were under this impression that they weren't going to be good enough. And let me tell you, they always left me with my jaw wide open. And they were just gifted. I don't know if they just didn't realize it, didn't understand it, or really, they needed to just hone it for themselves. But it's so obvious, they were gifted. They were gifted, and I wanted them to be a part of what we're doing because Tom and I were interested in promoting this genre through the people, but not the genre so much as the people, the women, the gifts, because it was like as women we're always discounted. Sorry, and so that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. And in this industry, it's like, oh, here we go again. But the fact of the matter is, it's real. And
Yeah.
and if you don't understand that, well, maybe this isn't for you. But they're authentic. The one, people that we dealt with, the people that are in my sphere, in my world, they're all real. And we went out of our way to vet everyone prior to doing anything. But to see, that I'm still in touch with a lot of the women that I interviewed many, many years ago, they're still close friends. And they're now doing events all over the place. And I'm so honored and humbled to have had that opportunity
Yeah.
to spend time with them and to be friends. I mean, I'm extremely fortunate.
And we were talking about that and how I was, I was speaking about when I heard you say that you help them believe in themselves, and that's like a ripple effect. You didn't do it. That wasn't your
I don't really
intention.
think
Your
I did
intention.
anything. They
Well,
just
you say
they
that, and
just
Helen
but
is
they
very,
just
very
stepped up.
humble.
But they just stepped up and they owned and they step forward, for themselves.
And they
It's
did,
just
but you
like,
gave them the opportunity to. I'm gonna say right now, everybody, that Helen is one of the most humble people, and she will not. She doesn't realize the impact that she has on other people. So that's why we're discussing this, and I really wanted to have you on because you do have so much magic, and you don't real. I don't even know if you know what
I don't
you
know if
have.
it's magic.
See what I mean? So we're gonna go with that.
No, but
But
seriously, that
anyway,
word scares me a little.
but the thing is that, we real when you help them, they actually, kind of like you said, they're out in the world, they're doing the work, and they're actually helping other people. So maybe that one moment, and we all have that, right? We all have those moments where we don't really realize how we impact people, how we really impact people. It's it could be one little thing, it could be one little word, or like maybe doing readings, maybe you when you did your films, or when they purchase your oils, or when they watch the Inspirational Alchemist and they're like, oh wow, that's a great recipe. Like it's so easy. I could do this. All these things are, and when you always have the right intention when you do things, always have the intention of helping others. And you were telling me before that reason why you started doing the Simply Sacred oils was because you had pain, you had operations and surgeries, and that you were using oils and realizing they were helping you, and then you decided that you were going somebody's. So tell me that story. Tell
Yeah,
us
so
that
I have
story.
a medium friend who was really helpful with my recovery with the surgeries that I was having. She brought in a very famous brand again. Give it to me.
I'm sorry.
It's a very famous brand of
Oh,
essential oil.
is it
It's not doTERRA, but
Young
anyway,
Living? Young
Young
Living?
Living, Young Living, very, very famous and a brand, and let me use it. And weeks later, I'm like feeling better, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I know this is going to sound a little nuts. I do use this. I did use essential oils at the time, but nothing to this magnitude. Nothing directly on a scar or wound or a pain.
right.
It's like, and I'm like, it's helping me, and it's like, don't feel this is a little weird, but I've noticed a difference. And she
Yeah,
said to me straight out, you can do this. You could do this. You've done this. You could do this. I'm like, what exactly does that mean? Just, well, I'm like, I'm not you. So you have to tell me exactly. I'm simple. Make it easy. What do I have to do to feel better with this stuff? And so, Simply Sacred Oil was not born from the idea to create and sell. This was to make me feel better. This was to heal me. And like I said, I think I came in as a broken soul. And so that was one of the opportunities that I had to heal myself. And then being as I do, I'm in service, you're in service, we're all in service. I think as
yeah,
women, we're all in service, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, men too, but yes,
men
we're
too,
all
men too,
right.
but we're closely connected that way. But yes, absolutely men too. And I just think that if something helps me, I'm going to say, listen, maybe this can help you. And so that's
Right.
how it started. That it's not you know not thought about to make millions of dollars.
And then you said you met, so then you wanted to take it further, and then you were like led to this other person who helped you.
Yeah. So after coming up with the full line years later, I need to make sure that everything was you know shelf stable, legal, because there are parameters with the industry. Although the essential oil industry isn't regulated the way it really should be, there are perfume standards that's kind of it, you should follow the standards of the law. And
Right.
so I needed to find someone to help me. And I, you know, through the channels of the universe and my
You
path of
guides.
path of you know, my search, um, I came across someone who said, "Listen, there is a local perfumery. Why don't you just give?" I'm like, she had no information or anything, so I Googled it, made a phone call. A man picked up the phone and said, "Who are you? Where do you live?" Just like that. Who are you? Where do you live? What are you doing in 20 minutes? I'm like, I guess I'm going to be where you are. Just send me your address.
I guess I'm
So,
there.
so I was on my, you know, my hunt, my treasure hunt, part of my life.
Yeah.
So I met Steve, who was a tremendous, tremendous person in my life. He was a chemist, world-renowned chemist, actually. He's worked all over the world, and you know, older now, just settling down, you know, and here, not too far from where I did all the products. And so he stepped in and, perfected everything that I had, made everything what it is today. And we fostered a relationship that was amazing. He was another brother. Um, and he knew I couldn't pay him. He knew I couldn't pay him. So I offered to pay him on the back end, whatever proceeds, whatever he wanted at this point. The man was doing trials for me, going through his brown book and calling all of his people and saying, I'm sending you my friend. Don't charge her.
Aw.
Like, who
Aw.
does that? And I'm like,
Nobody
Steve,
does
like,
that, right?
I'm gonna
Well,
have to
you
pay
do
you.
that. You're
I'm gonna
like
have to
that.
pay you. I'm gonna have to pay you. He's like, listen, I just want you to be successful. He goes, I don't believe in the hooky dooky stuff. He used to call me hooky dooky
Okie
because he was
dokie.
linear. He was scientific. His brain only knew. He goes, and I know that you can't even count to 10 because we used to have that fun relationship. So don't worry about it. I'll take care of this end. You just do what you need to do.
And he believed in you
He did, but I don't know why and or how. Honestly, I
because
don't
he saw
know.
in you what you don't, people see in
I
us
I,
what we
I,
don't see sometimes.
I still don't get the amount of blessings that must have been surrounding that man to pick up the phone that day. For me,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it was. Total
Yeah.
blessings.
It's like people put, I guess they call it earth angels. Earth angels. Sometimes they stay in your life, sometimes they're just there for a moment, but they're placed in your life to lead you on that path. And that's what he was doing.
So yeah, so he was pivotal in Simply Sacred Oils. He made it all make sense. And then I lost him in the blink of an eye. He was hit and killed as he was walking by his house.
Oh,
And my life kind of ended right there at that moment with him. It's just like I still am having so much difficulty with his loss. Not only for his contribution to my work, but he was my friend.
yeah.
I mean, he was my friend. He was my mentor. He was like my everything at that time. And I just lost like all interest in developing new products at that time. And I realized I just needed to take a break. I had my
Right.
parents
Sometimes
really
you need
sick.
to grieve. You needed to
Yeah.
grieve.
And I didn't know how because I had my parents that are sick and were sick. And so I had that loss. And then I just needed to stop. I needed to stop and I needed to just kind of collect myself and figure things out. And, we worked on the mind, body, spirit, all that, all the products that we put together were, energized in a way that was different, was
Yeah.
a little different. And so that's when I stepped into the food part of the chakra system, which is the Eat the Rainbow, which is just the flip side
Love it.
of the flip side of the chakra system, mind, body, spirit. Nothing, but I
It's
needed
more
to,
of the food instead of the oils, which is the
I
same
need, I
thing
need
because
to
it's made
channel
out
it.
of food, right? It's made out of
Yeah,
plants and
all the
food
same.
and
I just need to channel. I needed to stop obsessing that I don't have this man anymore. I don't
yeah.
have my friend. And so that's really helped me.
And he gave you that base of knowledge of, you know, what you needed, and he was there when you needed him. And I'm gonna go back now. I'm gonna go back to how has it changed your life that you did follow? Because you did follow what you felt when you left that dealership and started doing these things on your own. Whether it worked out or not, it didn't matter. You did follow what you feel is for you, which is your magic. You were looking for your magic, right? That sweet spot, that thing that makes you feel right, feel whole and right, and so how did that change your life when you started following this? Because yes, you could have stayed where you were and just done that, right? But it wasn't right for you. You felt like you needed to move on and you followed it. And the thing with you is you always follow through with what you want to do, and that changes. That makes that makes you different from other people because some people don't do that. They have these ideas, but they don't follow through. They don't. They wouldn't be a manager for uh, you know um, for somebody in the music industry. They wouldn't be going out and shooting films. And you learned all of this too. You learned how to do all of this. It wasn't like it just came to you, or you learned how to do all of these things. It's talent. And then you went on to, okay, well, these oils help me. I want to help other people with it. And then you went and followed that, and you were led to where you need to be all along this, because it seems like everywhere you went, you always kind of had that angel helping you along the way. Um, so how did it change your life? Do you feel like if you hadn't done that, what would your life be like? What would you be
Oh
doing right
boy,
now if none of this happened?
I don't know where it would be.
Yeah.
I really don't know where I would be. Um, I just felt not necessarily early on, um, but I think once I left the finance business and moved forward, I knew that I had to pay attention to the universe. I knew I had to just keep on making those right turns and right turns and right turns. And if I did that, then maybe I would gain some momentum and the universe would bestow whatever I need to do, and put it in my path. And I felt like since then I've been on, this path of this treasure hunt type of thing. Not
Discovery.
typically, yeah, it's a discovery thing, finding out
Yeah.
where I'm supposed to be. And
And meeting amazing people along the way. I mean,
my
you
goodness, my
accumulated so
goodness,
many friends, right? Friends and really good close friends. Like you were just saying, you're friends with almost everybody that you've been on the path with, right? The people
and
from the
Weber,
Ann
and
Weber.
Weber,
She's amazing.
and
Ann is the
Weber,
best. I am so
my
grateful. That's how I
bestie.
met you through Ann. And I'm like,
That's right,
and
and
it's funny
Weber.
because I left. Every time I think of you, I think of her. It's like you guys are twins in my mind. So if I text her, I text you, like, because then you both pop in my head.
That's
I'm like,
so
okay, I got
funny.
to see how they're doing.
She's another one of my blessings. You know
Oh
what?
my
I
God,
think
such a
that in my
blessing.
previous lives, I think I must have done something good because
Right.
I don't know how things are evolving the way they are if I didn't do something good because I don't think I can't equate what's happening to me today on any value that I've put into anything. I mean, I listen, we're all in service. We all try to help each other. And I guess that's what I look forward to most. Even with the filming, um, our focus was to bring closure to the families that lost people,
Right.
um, whether they died in an accident or if they're just missing and assumed to be gone or dead or whatever the situation is. We were always looking to help others, Tom and I. So whatever focus we had, whatever concept that we, discovered and decided to go after would always have the benefit of it. Someone would have the benefit. And just tell me, to me, like I said earlier, on this planet, that there's no better gift. There's nothing, and no value you can put on anything. When somebody can say, you know what, your mom's here, and she wants you to know that everything's going to be okay. There's no value you can put on that. And so we needed to try to bring that to people, that sense of peace and comfort if we could. But unfortunately, we weren't successful in getting those films out there. But listen, you know what? It is what it is. It's divine timing, and it's all in God's time. So we'll just move forward to see what our future holds here.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that film with Nicholas was absolutely amazing. Touched my heart, and that was a big deal. And maybe, you shining that light on him, um, and kind of like, because some
You
people
mean the
did see that
documentary?
film.
You talk about the documentary?
Document, yes, with
Oh,
Nicholas. And I know that Barbara is also putting that's one of her purpose, like she's opening up a center, I believe, right?
I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is. The mom, Barbara?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. People
Because I
can
read
Google
it,
it. You
one of
want to see
the
it?
fundraisers. Yeah, we did a fundraiser,
Yes.
and their purpose is to open a
Oh, that's
center for
right.
autistic children.
Yes. It's important to me.
And
You know what?
so,
It's very important. It should be more important to more people. You know, um, you know, kindness is the first step.
kindness, kindness. And I'm going to jump to, you also um have a charity, right? Or
Yeah, it's a foundation.
foundation, that's it. I knew I wasn't saying it
Yeah,
right. So yeah,
yeah. Okay,
talk about your
foundation.
foundation.
Yeah. Well, Billy the Bull was something that I'm very passionate about. I just don't have enough time and means to explore it the way I need to. I wrote a book, which is a manual that the teachers can use. I know I sent you some also
Yes, you did.
about how to implementing this into the school system. Billy is for the underdog. It's for the voiceless. Um, and it's an anti-bullying foundation. And I think at some point in our lives, we all have been bullied. And it
Yeah, whether
goes
it's small or
on.
big, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
But that was actually birthed out of in 2012. I don't know if you remember, but on the internet, the kids that were killing themselves were putting up these little placards with with no vocal message, but they were writing like how disappointed they were and that they're going to kill themselves. Do you remember anything like that?
I don't remember that, but I might not have.
Well, it really affected me. It affected me, and I just felt like I needed to do something. And by not doing something, then I was contributing to that and allowing that to happen. Even though I'm no one in nowhere doing nothing at the moment, I thought maybe I could try to do something. And I do have the foundation. I just need the right set of eyes to, I mean, have all the marketing and merchandising ready to go. I just need the right system to pick it up so it's useful.
And I'm going to say that as a psychic medium, I'm going to read you a little bit. I just feel like all of these things are never wasted and they always come through. I feel like it's all of this is experience that you're kind of gaining, and then it's going to
I pray.
coalesce is the word I hear. Coalesce into something amazing. I see it
I
just going
pray.
together and then going out to the world. So any of this is so important. And that you go ahead and do this. Most people don't. And I was telling you that before. We all have ideas, but we don't follow through. You do. And that's amazing that you even do that, because just because you found something doesn't mean that it was worthless, or it wasn't worth it or worth your time. We always gain experience through everything that we do. So, and it always, like, each thing that you've done has actually affected other people. So I was going to say, how did it change others around you? Well, talking about those psychic mediums that you kind of believed in and, put on film. And then they are going out and doing readings and doing these things. Maybe they didn't believe in themselves before. Because when you do this work, and as a psychic medium, it takes a lot of faith and trust to do this, because you're hearing things and you're like, well, I don't know if I should say this. Like, it's a lot. And when we kind of let go and know that take our ego out of it, and know that these messages are coming from the universe, from spirit, whoever you want to say it, from their guides, their angels, their loved ones, and that we always have the intention of always channeling the highest good for these people, and only those of the white light are going to come in, and that's always the intention. And it is such a gift to be able to do that, like such an amazing thing. Like you said, you can't even like explain it. It's just,
You
I'm
can't even
so honored to
monetize.
be able to
You
do
can't.
this work.
And you are an amazing medium. Just
I'm
want to be
just,
clear with that. You are an amazing human and an amazing medium and a great friend. And I appreciate the time you're taking today to speak with me.
oh, of course, I appreciate you, and you're an amazing person. I'm going to say this, not just because she said it. You are an amazing person, and you have so much to offer, and your intentions are always of the highest good, and that you always want to help people, and just so humble about it, and ego is like so out of it when you do these things, and I love it. So I'm gonna move us to now. Let's go to because we kind of were speaking before, and I found out things that I didn't know. So apparently you have chefs in the family, and also that you've also had past lives that did this alchemy. So you used, herbs, which obviously you use herbs for healing and you also use them to eat, right? Like you use them for food to help heal. So you're doing it, you've done it, you're doing it now, and you're doing it again. And so I want to move on to that. And so you said you had a lot of chefs in the family.
Yeah, I have an uncle in Vegas, my grandfather, my father, my mother, and my father were like dueling chefs in the kitchen. My father's more experienced, obviously, because he's out in the world doing that as a younger
Yeah,
person throughout his whole life. I mean, you know, basically, that's what we came from as Greeks. We cook because we like to eat.
yeah,
And so yeah, so it was a natural extension of my childhood, a natural extension of how I grew up in the kitchen with my dad and my mom, and and so doing what I'm doing now, it's not really chef work because it's not, they're not necessarily all full meals and stuff like that, but it's more one step in a different direction because now we're going to focus on the more healthy
right,
foods that will benefit us so we can live a better life. The more
right.
color, the more life. And so, simple, I'm a simple mind. I like things really easy, you know, limited ingredients. If you can do all organic, that's better. A
Speaking my
simple
language. You're
process,
speaking my
right?
language.
Simple process. And those are the foods, those are the ingredients that allow us to live a healthier life.
Right.
So basically taking what we've learned already in the chakra system and converting that into the foods that we eat. And that's what we have with the alchemist, the inspirational alchemist idea.
And you make it look so easy. And like you just made chocolate, we were talking about the chocolate pudding and how easy that was. And it was
Oh
using,
God,
protein and all these things. Now, as a, integrated nutrition health coach, I'm watching you and I'm like, and exactly what we're saying, it's like, well, this is just dear to my heart because I love that you're doing this and showing people how easy it is to do this because it really
so
is.
easy.
If you just put your
No,
mind to it, and I love how you put like the colors of each chakra that it affects. So I think you put the heart, right? Like the green, the heart on that recipe that you put out. She puts out recipes. You guys have, I'm going to put the links so you can follow Helen because she is just doing this beautiful thing with food and making it so
oh,
simple.
thank
And
you.
you're so excited over it too. And I love it because I feel that
Yeah,
excitement and I get excited because and again, with the organic, it's so true. Like always eat organic. These are all the things that we learn in health coaching. Organic is so important. And when we talk about the chakras, I always want to, it's so important because that's our energy system. And if you speak about the chakras in Western language, it's really just on lymph nodes, which moves everything along. So if your lymph nodes are clogged, right, that's when you have dis-ease. So you're kind of eating for for those chakras. You're kind of targeting certain things. I remember when you did that workshop. I have it right here. I have it right here. I have your oil. Okay. I have you kind of gave everything. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to say it again because I was so excited when I came home from that. She did an amazing workshop. You
you're so
had
kind, so kind.
you were speaking about the rainbow and you were talking about the oils. And what did she give? She let you pick out this basket of oils, right? Now I remember speaking to you, and this was so funny, and this is why, like, nothing is coincidence, sorry, but it's just not. I was standing by and I was joking around, and she had these beautiful array of all different color napkins. And I was trying you made something. You made a what did you make it that?
It was a blueberry, a blueberry tart. I think three
Oh, it
ingredients,
was so good. Yeah,
organic. Yeah,
yeah. Three ingredients.
it
It
was
was
vegan,
delicious.
right?
So I go to eat it, and of course I have to grab a napkin. I'm like, let's see which one I want. She's standing next to me. Let's see which one napkin feels right. And I grab the green one. Okay. So I grab the green one and I'm eating this thing and it's delicious. So then I go to sit down. She comes around with a basket of these oils, right? So let me put my glasses on because I want to, I can't see without,
It's
I
the
just
little
can't.
one. Look at the little one. Look at the little one.
Well, the little one, well, first I pulled this one, and that's why I'm
Well,
saying it like that.
That was the sage, I think, right?
Sage. Right. This is the sage room. Right, right, right. That was, I think everybody had this one. You're right.
Right.
So not only is it just a sage spray, what does she have in here? She's got
Oh, you got to
crystals in
have a
there.
crystal. You have
Gotta
to
have
have
a
a crystal.
crystal in there. And I think
Got it.
that's from what I'm looking at, that looks black. That's
Yep.
what'd you put
That's
in there?
black obsidian. Black
Yep,
obsidian.
black obsidian. Okay. And there's meanings and all and to all of that. And then of course she lets everybody pick up, selenite crystal, which is so healing, and it's kind of like transmutes negative energy. You can put your bracelets, I have a bracelet, you can put that on it, next to it, you can wear it, put it in your shirt, put it under your pillow. So then what do I grab? Again, she comes around with these little bottles, right? So wait, let me get this. Comes around with these little bottles. And what do I grab? But I grab the green chakra for heart. Are you kidding me? I'm like, and everything I touched, there was something else I think I grabbed, and it was also for the green chakra. And I was joking around, and my guys were like, "Yeah, I don't think so," but it's just so amazing, and so I just laughed. I remember coming home and making a video of that, and I'm like, "Oh my God, guys!" Like they gave gifts. It was just so nice. It was just a great workshop. You had Nancy D'Erasmo or
Nancy
Nancy What is it
DeRasmo,
now?
Anthony DeRasmo. Yeah, everybody
D'Erasmo.
was there.
Yeah, they were there, and she did gallery readings, and he was doing sound healing, and somebody else was speaking about their experience and I'm a psychic medium, and it was just beautiful. It was a great event, but I just laughed because here we go, like you can't make that stuff up. So anyway, she does these things, and that was a delicious treat. It really was. It was so simple, and just by showing people that, like, just we're just everyday people, right? We need to know like these things. I mean, I know, but I don't always do. So sometimes it's a reminder for me. So I love watching you because you are an inspirational alchemist. You do make it so fun and interesting. And I love. What did you put out? It was the balls. Like, here's my balls.
Oh, my biscotti balls. Well, there's more
Loved
balls to
it.
come, as a matter of fact. Tonight I got to make some balls. They're
Making more balls.
snowballs.
There you go. So I
It's
just
all
love
about
your
the balls.
humor.
It's all about the balls.
All about the balls. I love your humor. You just bring such a beautiful thing to it. And it is inspirational, and you are inspirational. And that I was going to ask you, like, how does it show up in the work that you do and transition to the people that come to you or that watch you? And that I'm going to tell you my experience is that's my experience. And it feeds my soul and makes me happy to see somebody. Just all the things that you talk about are all the things that I've learned health coaching, and that I believe in. Like I do believe that, you eat organic when you can, and you eat, whatever you can do to eliminate, all these chemicals and things. So if you can make something, like I want to make crackers. I want to make I buy them and it's like, I know I can make these and make like healthy crackers, because I'm also gluten-free and dairy-free, so I have to watch what I eat. But yeah, I just love it. And it reminds me, no matter if you have the information and you know it already or you don't, and it's something new for you, it does remind you or it teaches you. Or both. Because I may know something, but I might not know what you know. So you're gonna teach me something. We all teach each other. And that's why I love this so much. So Talon, you want to talk about your food and I mean we kind of spoke about it, but what you're doing with this, and it does feed your soul. And I think it's really close to your heart, right?
It is. I mean, it gives me an opportunity to go back to the filming a little bit, even though we're
Right.
using an iPhone.
Right. Which is so
And
much easier, right? What an easy
oh
thing.
my goodness, I have like, tens of thousands of dollars of equipment
I'm sure.
back, from that business, unfortunately. But it's like, they're dinosaurs. All you
Yeah.
need is a phone.
You
I
don't
mean,
need it anymore,
honestly,
right?
I think it's miraculous. And I think that's a wonderful change. And I think
Yeah.
anybody can be a star and a filmmaker and everything else. But it gives me an opportunity to go back and just kind of like, bring in my childhood a little bit, what we used to make when we were, younger people, and, introduce some new things and just have fun. Really. This is fun for me. I'm going to be
Yeah.
cooking with my friends and some of my
Yeah.
family, and we're just going to really have a good time with it. And in the interim, if somebody picks something up that they can use to benefit themselves, it's all about that. It's all
Yeah.
about really living a cleaner, healthier life. And also just, again, the rainbow is simple. right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's an easy thing to introduce into your life if you really don't want to do crazy things. If you want to make
No.
subtle changes that can help you, this is this is the way to start and to begin somewhere. And then who knows? Maybe it'll make bigger changes down the road. But for now, just try something that may make you feel better. And so that's the focus, just trying to get people to pay attention and to, eat colors. Eat colors that are good for you.
Colors are good. And, with health coaching, we always spoke about, they taught us, even just among like the same thing, like say if you have cabbage, right? There's green cabbage and there's purple cabbage, and there's also purple cauliflower and white cauliflower and green cauliflower. They always talk about rotating the colors in your diet. So even if you eat cauliflower again the next week, try a different color or bring another color in. Like, so when you talk about colors, it really resonates with me because that's what they always taught us at IIN. And it's so true. Like, I try to add more, and I'm limited to certain things that I can eat, certain things that bother my stomach, but I do what I can. And that's all you can do. It doesn't mean okay, you didn't eat so great one day. Next day you try better. And by having the information in front of you when you watch Helen, showing you how to make something. I mean, I love that blueberry. I never thought to put blueberries on the fish, but it looked delicious. That was a great recipe.
And that was an accident, and because people are fearful. People should just
You get
let
stuck
the
in
fear
like
go.
your recipes. You get stuck in those same recipes.
Let the fears go, because I used to be the same way. I'm eating the same thing every day because you know what? I don't,
No,
just explore. You have nothing to lose. You
yeah,
never lose by trying something new. And maybe something else will come out of it. Or maybe you'll learn something else. Maybe you'll know never to use it again. I don't know.
right. Or you could
You
get
know?
two recipes and combine them. Maybe you're like, oh, you know what? Let me kick it up with this because I like the way this tastes, but I want to try it with that. I'm not, some people are just naturally like you. Sounds like you're naturally gifted to put things together and make them taste good, just like my husband. My husband
Not really.
put
Not
anything
listen. Don't
together.
don't give me that title of naturally gifted. I just like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I got a lot of stuff in the refrigerator. There's food everywhere. Let me just see what I could do here. Maybe
Yeah,
it's good. Maybe it's no
yeah.
good. But you
See,
got
but
to
when I do
try.
that, it's not always so good. I like to follow recipes, and that's why I like that you put the recipes because then I can follow them. I guess I'm more, for me, like I said, it's just you have to know the flavors, and maybe I'm just not focusing on it enough. Like for me, I know my husband's amazing at it, so I let him do his thing, and then I do other things. So I'm like, I'm good. Let me focus on
Good.
something else.
Right.
But it's true
Perfect.
when you have that, like, why not try, right? What do you have to lose? Not a big deal.
Nothing. So you toss it. So you give it away. So you reinvent it. So, and listen, there's always something to do with it.
Yeah, beautiful. And so your intention, like I said, as I'm listening to all of this, it's always that your intention is always for the highest good and to help others, help yourself and to help others. And I know that you had also on your inspirational alchemist, you were speaking about when you went to the doctor and that you were asking him about your memory
Oh
um
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he was saying no, it's okay. But you know what? If you're worried, like if you have somebody in the family that does have memory issues or dementia or whatever it is, um, by changing now and by adding these things in that help those things like B12, foods that contain B12, all different things. By adding this in, that actually helps you. Doesn't mean you'll never get it, or you may never. It could change your path because by adding these things in, it does really help heal. These foods are very healing, and eating have the elements like using the earth, foods that are coming from the earth because that's healing. That's what earth, you know, Mother Gaia gives us, right? Is food and plants and herbs that we can use to help heal us and to eat them, to put them on our skin, to help heal a wound. Like if we kind of go back to that a little bit, it doesn't mean that you're not going to ever go to the doctor. It doesn't mean that you're not going to, thank God for hospitals and
Thank God.
Western
Yeah.
medicine, right?
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
Eastern medicine has a beautiful beautiful thing to bring too and to offer. So when you combine those, and I always learn and I always teach about that when I do my health coaching, I've learned that like when you combine those two things, it's beautiful because need if you have an emergency, then Western medicine's great. Or if you really need some medicine, take it for a short time, but maybe like try to transition to something more, healthy, and then you might not need that medicine anymore. It's I think it's the length of time, like forever, that you're going to take something and maybe you don't need that, or maybe try something. Maybe your doctor, or the right doctor, they want to try something natural first, and then if you need this, it's just nice to have both. Really is. And but you have so much to offer, Helen. I know I see you on this beautiful path. I know you have so much to offer. You just as a friend alone, you have been just the best, amazing friend. I mean, Helen is like, I can't even, there's not many people like you. I'm just gonna say that. You are just so
I
selfless, and you don't want to take any credit for anything, but I'm gonna tell you that your magic is beautiful and that you have so much to offer. And look, she's cringing, but it's true. And every
You're
one of
so
your friends will
kind.
tell you that
You're so
because,
kind and so generous. Thank you.
and you know what?
And you're the
I know
same
that,
way, Angela. You're the same way.
thank
I'm
you.
very
And
grateful for our relationship, our friendship. Very, very grateful.
oh, definitely, me
You're an
too. I'm
amazing
so grateful for the people, for Anne, for you, for all the people that are around me. I just can't ask for better people. And I love that you talk about how you speak about Tom, and also meeting Steve, because they really did change your life in so many
You
beautiful
did.
ways. And I know Tom has, beautiful gifts with writing and books, and and you're always putting that out there. And definitely, a lot of people with a lot of beautiful gifts. And
I'm
all your
very
friends are just always, she's like, yeah, that's my friend. That's my friend too. I'm like, oh my God, she's just so amazing. So,
grateful.
so now, is there anything that you'd like to speak about before we finish up?
No, I just want to thank you for taking the time in your busy schedule to have me on. And if I can help anybody out there, get onto Inspirational Alchemist Facebook or Instagram. I think shut me out today. I don't know. I think I maybe
Oh, I
did
don't
some.
like when they do that. Well, we're gonna post all of your
Yeah, if I,
Facebook and Instagram.
and if anybody has any questions with crystals and any of the essential oils and how I can help, just reach out and I'm happy to help.
Oh, and let's go back really quickly because I wanted to make sure that I spoke about this and I forgot. Let's go back quickly to your Simply Sacred oils and about your grandmother, because remember,
Ah,
just talk a little bit for a minute too about your
okay.
oils and what you offer.
Sure. My grandmother was very pivotal in my youth. She was sick from, you know, forever. My entire life until she passed away, she was sick. And she was pretty much, for the most part, um, maybe the last 10 years of her, 15 years of her life, she was in bed. And so I was there as her little minion. So, she was a naturalist. She liked to go in the back and pick things from the garden and, you know, take the stone and make, crack the olives. So they were really, really comfortable with what the earth had to offer and that way. So she taught me a lot of different ways to do things medicinally to help her because she needed help, but she couldn't always, rub her belly and do what she needed to. She couldn't walk and, so well and stuff like that. So she was really pivotal in teaching me all these things. And so, as an homage to her, I have a little line of uh, aromatherapy pillows that
And they smell
are,
amazing.
yeah, actually, I have
Wait,
her
I have it right
face on
here.
the actual packages. And basically, the recipes are all focused. We have
Wait,
something.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at this.
That's okay. That's the migraine
Background is like,
vertigo. Yeah, that's it.
go.
That's my grandmother. And my name was Helen. Grandma was Helen, and we were very, very
Oh, so you were
close.
named after her.
Yes, yes. And we were a day
Love it.
apart. Day
Oh my
apart.
God. This one is the migraine and vertigo relief.
Yeah, it's the
It
migraine
says my
vertigo.
Yaya's old fashioned aromatherapy pillow made with pure essential oils. And what's nice is that, you close it up again and it's remained. So
Yeah.
It's great to have the packaging too, because that really does keep it really nicely. But so amazing. I mean, it smells so good, and boy, like you could really smell. This one is made with peppermint, eucalyptus, and lavender essential oils, and breathe, relax, release, restore. I love all those things you always incorporate things in your products.
Thank you.
So we're going to post that also. We're going to post the links to all of these things that she has. And make sure you watch her on Instagram and Facebook. And are you on the other platform? Is it
Yeah,
YouTube?
follow me on everything if you
Well,
can.
you're on YouTube now.
TikTok.
You're going to be on YouTube now. But are you on,
I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
oh, you're on YouTube. Okay.
Inspiration is on YouTube, TikTok,
TikTok.
LinkedIn, Facebook, all
We're going
that
to
good
post
stuff.
all of that. And
Thank you.
Helen has so much to offer. If, like she said, if you have any questions, contact her, especially with the oils. And also with,
Please do.
the food. Maybe she might be able to, if you have a question about green and what it does, and then she has her beautiful chart, which I love that chart, because it really is very helpful to understanding, especially whether you're a layman or whether you kind of know something about it. It's understandable. And that's what I like about you, and saying that before. You like to make things simple because it's how you understand it, right? How we understand it easier, the best is breaking it down for people. Not everybody needs this, you just want it to be simple and easy. When you make it simple and easy, it's beautiful. Then you're going to do it. If you make it too hard, you're not going to do it. Not.
I'm not going to do it either. It's just too
Right.
much. The
You
brain
won't
can't
do it
handle
either.
it. My brain is
Exactly.
simple. It's small. I need small little pieces to make sense.
Exactly. So again, now I keep going back because I'm like, wait, we forgot this because we were talking, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know all this about you. Like, I didn't know your family, made jewelry and you had a jewelry, and then I didn't know that took all these steps, and I didn't know that your family, like, there was so many chefs in your family, and she makes it look so easy, and you really do connect everything so nicely when you speak, and you definitely have so much knowledge. I mean, like you were saying, you feel like it's almost like knowledge that you've had in a past life, and just kind of so easy for you. It just transitions so easily. You do have some, real life knowledge, and then you also have just knowledge that you don't know where it came from, which is what you're channeling. I mean, how did you think these people knew years ago? Like, oh, I'm going to use, you know, eucalyptus because it helps me smell, it helps my colds or whatever. It helps me open up my nasal passages or my headache or so, you definitely have this and definitely done it in the past life before. And I can't wait to see the results. Again, like I said, I hear that word what did I say? Coalition, coalesce. I see it going into this thing, and then it becomes something amazing. And it's already there, and then you're just going to keep adding, and it's just going to become this beautiful thing. But having these platforms are really important because people need to see them. So, is there anything else you'd like to speak about, or we can finish up?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for coming on.
Thank
I'm
you.
so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your
And I am
friendship.
for
And
you.
like I said, watch Helen. Look up Tom's books. You could put Tom's books on there. And I think it's important because you're all connected. I mean, we're all part of it. And, I'm
Thank
just
you,
grateful.
Angela.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless you.
And
Thank you.
I just want to tell everyone to look out for the next segment of Unhindered Soul, The Magic Within. More to come. Have a good night. May you connect with your own magic while listening to Unhindered Soul, The Magic Within.